For years, there's been this wild theory kicking around online. The idea that the internet is, secretly dead, and that most of what we see is actually fake, just completely overrun by bots. Well, guess what? The data is in, and what used to be a fringe conspiracy theory is now a verified economic reality.
Have you ever had that feeling? You're just scrolling through your feed and this weird sense washes over you, that you're in a kind of digital ghost town. Like you're the only real person there, surrounded by something else entirely. Well, it turns out you're not going crazy. That feeling is real.
And here it is. This is the number that proves it. For the very first time in history, automated, non-human traffic has officially, and it looks like permanently, surpassed human activity online. A whopping 51% of all traffic on the web is now generated by bots, scripts, and AI. So yeah, that dead internet theory, it's not a theory anymore.
Okay, so let's start right there with this massive, fundamental shift. The internet is no longer a place made primarily by and for humans. It is now, at its core, synthetic. And this isn't some forecast for the future, it's the new baseline reality we're all living in right now.
And here's where the sheer scale of this just slaps you in the face. See, human traffic? It's growing, but slowly, kind of predictably, at about 3%. But automated traffic, it's growing 8 times faster. And the real rocket fuel behind that explosion is something called agentic AI, which has surged by almost 8,000%. This is a totally new ballgame.
So what on earth is this agentic AI that's completely taking over? I mean, we're not just talking about the simple bots that used to crawl websites for search engines. Oh no. These are autonomous, goal-oriented systems that can carry out complex, multi-step tasks, just like a human would, but at a scale that is almost impossible to wrap your head around.
And this is how they do it. It's called the multiplier effect. Just think about it like this. When you go to research a new pair of headphones, you might visit a few sites, read some reviews, maybe generate a dozen or so web requests. But an AI agent doing that same task for you, it'll query thousands of sites, compare pricing everywhere, synthesize all the user reviews, creating literally 1,000 times more traffic. That's how just a handful of these AI tools can generate more activity than entire populations of people.
Okay, so as you can probably guess, this new synthetic web comes with a very, very real price tag. It sparked 2 major crises that are actively eroding the entire digital economy, a phenomenon people are calling AI slop, and a just catastrophic explosion in ad fraud. So, first up, what exactly is AI slop? Well, you've definitely seen it. It's the industrial-scale manufacturing of digital garbage. Those bizarre, low-quality videos and articles that make no sense? They aren't made for humans to actually enjoy. They are engineered for one purpose: to fool algorithms, grab a sliver of your attention, and rake in ad money. It's basically digital pollution. And I think this quote just hits the nail on the head. AI slop is the junk food of our new economy. Just like fast food is engineered with salt, sugar, and fat to hack our biology, this content uses hyper-stimulating, weird visuals and cheap emotional triggers to hack our attention on platforms like YouTube and TikTok. It's designed for addiction, not value.
And let me tell you, it is insanely profitable. This is not some kid in a basement. It's a full-blown business model. Just look at these 2 YouTube channels. They are completely automated, just churning out these weird AI animations. One of them, Bandar Upnadost, gets over 2 billion views a year and is estimated to make over $4 million. This is real money being pulled directly out of the pockets of actual human creators.
And that leads us straight into the second crisis, ad fraud. Because as these bots get better and better at mimicking human behavior, the very foundation of the internet's economy, the click, the view, the impression, it's all becoming totally meaningless. The projected global loss to ad fraud by 2026 is a mind-boggling $97 billion. To put that in perspective, that is more than the entire GDP of many countries.
Now, the really crucial thing here is that the big money is starting to run for the exits. Major corporations, we're talking giants like Unilever and P&G, are yanking billions of dollars out of the open web. Why? Because they simply can't trust that a real human is seeing their ads anymore. They are voting with their wallets, and they're abandoning a system that's become fundamentally broken.
But all that capital, all those billions of dollars, it isn't just vanishing into thin air. It's on the move. This massive crisis of trust is forcing a huge reshuffling of money into new kinds of ecosystems, places where human presence and real human intent can actually be verified.
And right now, that money is flowing into 3 main safe havens: First, you have gated networks, like in Web3 and crypto, where your identity is locked down and secured. Second, you have subscription communities. Think paid newsletters and media sites behind a paywall. And third, money is actually flowing back into the real world, to in-person events like conferences. The one thing they all have in common, they can guarantee you're interacting with a real human being.
So, this all leads us to the final, and honestly the most important takeaway here. In an economy where AI can generate infinite content for free, the one thing that becomes scarce, the one thing that becomes truly valuable, is humanity itself. Verifiable, proven human attention is now the ultimate premium asset.
And the core technology that's making this new human-first economy possible is something called proof-of-personhood. It's basically any method that can reliably prove that you are one unique human being. This is what protects systems from what are called Sybil attacks, where one bad actor can create thousands of fake bot accounts. This tech is quickly moving from a niche idea to critical infrastructure for any serious online business.
And don't think for a second this is just a theoretical concept. It is happening right now at a crazy scale. A project called WorldCoin has already verified 18 million people by scanning their eyeballs, their irises, to create a unique digital ID. Now, it's a controversial approach for sure, but it just goes to show you the massive, urgent demand for any system that can draw a clear line between humans and AI online.
And if you want to know where the smart money is going, just look at the valuations of these winner ecosystems. The in-person events industry, a multi-trillion-dollar market. Why? Because you can't fake a handshake. The subscription economy is rocketing towards $1 trillion because a simple paywall is a surprisingly effective bot filter. The new rule is simple. Value is no longer about getting the biggest audience. It's about getting the most trusted and verified one.
So, this is where we're left. We're facing a fundamental choice because the internet is splitting in two. On one side, you have the vast, open, synthetic web completely saturated with AI and bots. And on the other, you have these smaller, gated, verified networks of actual humans. The economic value is clearly shifting to the human side. So the real question for all of us is, as this great divide gets wider, which internet will you choose to spend your time and your money in?